I think personally, if he gets one more vote and doesn't have it, he needs to step aside like McCarthy and Scalise did. We will have one because the country needs to concentrate on the things that are going wrong with the country. Our absolute open borders by the Biden administration now, where even sanctuary cities are screaming for help. Who knows how many Hamas or Chinese Communist Party people have come in on the southern border. These are the things that are worrying America today. We'll get our act together and we'll be able to pull back and govern and actually get America back on track.
That was a real turn. Sir, who is the Republican in the conference right now who can lead the conference, and why haven't we seen them?
What's up, everybody? Major Retired Richard Ojeda here. North Carolina Congressman Greg Murphy was put into a pressure cooker recently when he joined MSNBC's Katy Tur on an episode of Katy Tur Reports. Katy Tur wanted to get Murphy's take on the GOP circus that's been playing out in the House of Representatives ever since Republicans voted to oust their own leadership.
If you are a voter in a swing district come next November and you're trying to choose between a Democrat and a Republican and they're thinking about what's going on right now, what is your argument to that voter that they should entrust the Republicans again?
Well, look at what's happening with inflation. They go to the grocery store and they can't afford things that they could before. Their real wages have
But the government's not
decreased.
Working at all right now, so any of those problems is just not getting addressed because Republicans can't figure out who to lead them.
Katie, the government is working right now. The leadership is having issues.
You haven't been able to pass a single bill or put anything to the floor in 2 weeks other than a vote for speaker, and that keeps failing.
Murphy, who supported the overturning of Roe v. Wade and holds an extreme stance on abortion, has drawn fire from activist groups, but also from his own family. Greg Murphy's daughter has reportedly turned her back on her parents over Neanderthal views on a woman's bodily autonomy. Murphy's caveman ideology was on full display during the entire clip, but Katy Tur was not going to let Murphy get away with anything. Last week, Jim Jordan gave up after 3 failed tries to secure the Speaker of the House position. Tur mockingly remarked that took a turn at the end of one of Murphy's moronic answers and cut him off repeatedly as he tried to elude her question about why voters should entrust the Republicans again.
We don't pass bills when we're in recess. So again, what matters to the American public is our overrun of the southern border. What matters is inflation. What matters is gas prices that people can't afford. Those are the things that matter to the American people. We'll get our stuff together in a row. Democracy is messy, and with the 24/7 news cycle, you see it every moment.
Murphy rambled off a list of the same old Republican talking points about open borders and sanctuary cities. The North Carolina congressman even suggested that Hamas terrorists and militant extremists from China have been sneaking across the border and that everyday Americans need to be worried about it. Katy Tur smacked Greg Murphy with a truth 2x4 when she pointed out that the government isn't working at all right now. The very problems that Murphy is bellyaching about are not getting addressed because Republicans can't figure out who to lead them. Tur exposed Murphy's hypocrisy, but Murphy doubled down with even more lies. This is usually the case with these extremist Republicans. They cannot accept the possibility that they could ever be wrong about anything. They are so worried about proving their point, they resort to full-blown lies to get gullible people to side with them. Tur hit him again with the truth, and it left his head spinning. You haven't been able to pass anything to the floor in 2 weeks, other than a vote for Speaker, and that keeps failing. The bottom line is, why should anyone trust Republicans to run the country when they can't even run the only branch of government that they control? Republicans have been scrambling to elect a Speaker of the House ever since Matt Gaetz and 7 other Republicans voted to can Kevin McCarthy without a replacement. This threw the House of Representatives into a vacuum of desperate power struggles. We've seen every GOP jackaloon trying to blame the Democrats for their misfortunes, but in reality it was Republicans that were responsible. When the GOP realized that their Speaker candidates were all going to fail, they wanted to grant temporary powers to an interim Speaker, Patrick McHenry. McHenry was a Kevin McCarthy confidant and helped McCarthy pass a spending bill that angered so many Republicans. The attempt to empower McHenry failed, and it's a good thing. Murphy tried to tell Katy Tur that the Republicans were going to get their act together and get back to governing. He peddled the illusion that the GOP wants to do the work of the American people, but Tur quickly shot that lie down as well. She wanted to know which Republican was ready to lead the conference, essentially calling his bluff. Who is it and why haven't we seen them, she added. Republicans will never get the votes that they need as long as they let clowns like Matt Gaetz hold the party hostage. The GOP had a speaker. He was a dirtbag, but they had a leader. 8 Republicans Republicans voted against McCarthy, and it turned the House upside down. It was even reported that House members that voted against Jim Jordan received threatening emails and phone calls. Their spouses were contacted as well. They couldn't unite over someone that inspired them, so they resorted to threats and violence. This is a typical response from these jackaloons. If House Republicans really want to get back to work, they would elect Hakeem Jeffries as the next speaker. All it would take is 5 votes. The truth is that the Republicans are all scrambling to get behind someone so they can work deals. Nutjobs like Marcia Trainwreck Green lost everything when Kevin McCarthy got canned. These numbskulls aren't interested in working for the American people. They're interested in doing the bidding of the corporate interests that grease their pockets. Greg Murphy is just another do-as-I-say, not-as-I-do jackaloon that wants to regulate a woman's body. He needs to be voted out just like every other Republican that has attacked women's productive rights. Somebody stick a fork in Greg Murphy because Katy Tur roasted him and he's done. And that is a fact. Sappers clear the way, airborne all the way.